Jason&Jabari.
What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason and Jabari Gaming, and today we have War number 1 of season 50 kicking off. I did take up two 7-star champions to rank 2, the first being Gore. I was asked by my officer Jelly to take up Gore to rank 2. I'm not particularly a fan of Gore. I don't think he's a bad champion. It's just never a champion that I've personally been interested in. However, he is a tactic attacker this season. So this is beneficial for this season. Plus, we will have this tactic for next season as well. So I thought this was a decent investment. And for the fight that I'll be using him for, it's against a bullseye on node 49, which he actually does very, very well for. Bullseye does the insta bleeds, and he just gains regen every time. He is Sig 100, so I've pulled him more than a little bit, which is quite sad. I have had terrible crystal luck, and he's a testament to that. The next champion that I took to rank 2 for this war specifically was Falcon. I actually do like Falcon. I am a fan of Falcon. I have been for a long time. It's just he's a bit dated by comparison to some of the skill champions. You know, in Battlegrounds, I mean, he is usable. He can be fast, but you just don't think Falcon, you know, when it comes to what comes to mind with the skill class, because it's pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's like incredibly impressive, but it is not the worst class. I'd say it's somewhere in the middle of the classes. It's pretty relevant. But anyway, he's Sig 120, so I've pulled him a lot of times as well, and he is a tactic attacker as well. We'll be using him for a hazard shift Jessica Jones fight. And this kit is pretty basic, so it's just basically, you know, you hold your block, get on your locked on, and then hit really hard. Okay, so let's move on to our opponents, CZSK Night Guardians. I don't know much about them. If we lose a lot of points. So, excuse me. So we definitely don't want to lose our first war, right? Especially when we got first place in the world and got war champions last season. So I haven't had much practice with this tactic at all. I've been extremely busy with life and stuff like that. Hopefully my office will be up and running soon. Once that's done, then we'll go back to the live streams and stuff, because I do miss you guys. And we'll have the last war of season 49 out tomorrow. Hopefully that's the plan, but I did want to get this out first because it's a little bit more relevant. All right, so what I'm doing here is I remember right at the last moment, thank God, that I needed to put a relic on those new champions that I took to rank 2. Well, they're not new, but you get what I'm saying. So I did the Thor relic that I had on Angela that I do not use to put on Gore. And then for Falcon, I believe I did like a 3-star or something, or maybe it was a higher star level. I think it was a higher star level of Black Widow. And I took that one off of my Korg. Yeah, so it was a 5-star. Okay. And I put that on my Falcon, and then with the Korg, I think I switched out for a 3-star Black Widow, because I seldomly would use Korg on attack for Battlegrounds, but in the event that I needed to, he could at least have an extra buffer of a extended combo. So I think I scroll down, yeah, and I take it off of Jabari, which is fine. I just wanted to do that before I forgot. So now that that is taken care of, we're gonna go in here. We have 4 fights this war, not very many, but we have 3 mini bosses and only 1 path fight. So that has happened a couple of times where I have more minis than I do path fights. It's fine, it's completely fine. But this is just kind of how the plan worked out. Hopefully I'll be getting more fights this season as opposed to last season, but we'll see. So my first actual fight is against this Ultron, and this is the only path fight that I do have. The plan here is to use Null, parry heavy to special 3, and then get to special 2. That is the plan for the next 2 fights. I really mess up on the next fight, but this fight is relatively fine. Just slow and safe, parry heavy up to your SP3. I did a combat regen here because I was going to use Null one more time, so I didn't really want to use any pots or anything like that, just in case I got clipped or something. The regen would help mitigate some of the block damage and things of that nature. Even though this is a 6-star Ultron, there is actually a 7-star Ultron, but very few get him from raids. So I think these clarity charges help with evade and stuff like that. I haven't looked really into it, but again, the plan that I was told was to parry heavy up to SP3, release the SP3. I do have power backs on. I have the 200 and the 12, so that's going to help with some damage and gain, giving me power back. That did a significant amount of damage, almost pushed me up to 2 bars. So that was good. I'm gonna medium into my SP2, and that should be game. So relatively clean fight, not a fast fight, because obviously I needed to parry heavy up to the SP3. Our first mini is this Iron Man Infinity War. He's only a rank 2, thank God, but I really messed up on this fight, and we're just gonna kind of talk about my mistakes. I didn't particularly play a great war. You can call it jitters, you can call it rust, you can make up any excuse that you want. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, so I opt to go with a power start 1. You get a power sting on yourself when your opponent gains a bar of power. So I was told to watch out for that. That was actually supposed to be a heavy. Instead it registered as a light attack, I believe. So that was unfortunate. And then my block just didn't work there, so that's on the game, not me. Then I dex, that's on me, because there is power snack, and I was like, oh yeah, so power snack is a thing. I don't want to do that. However, since I committed to not dexing anymore, I kind of eat the SP1 to the face. That's still on me. So we're off to a great start. There I should have thrown my SP3. I didn't. Instead, I go ahead and push him to 1 bar of power while we're waiting out the power sting. Now that was kind of strategic as well, because I wanted some willpower healing. So it kind of helps out. We get to the SP3, we release it as we are supposed to do. We don't eat the unblockable part of its SP1 this time. We get out the way like we're supposed to. Okay, so things are looking better. And then we make one more mistake, I believe. It's coming up. Right now everything looks fine. I'm like, I need to get to my SP2. I get to my SP2. I hit him with it. It does significant damage. It doesn't kill though. And yeah, I let go of my block. It throws off my rhythm. I threw a SP1 into his block, and that was the mistakes I made. So I know what not to do. We got the fight down, but it was very ugly. All right, so moving on to the next fight. This is Ascended JJ. We're going to be using Falcon here. We switched our power backs to skill power back boost, and I pretty much boost this way every war, guys. This is just how I was taught to boost, so this is just how I boost. It's just in me to do it like this. So we get all locked on and we start hitting hard. This is actually not my fault. With Falcon, we go for a big SP2. We get a big SP2. It almost gives us a full bar of power. Now, she throws her SP1 and somehow I get hit by it. I'm not entirely sure how I got hit by it, but I did. So we get a nice little intercept there. I thought somewhere along the way I whiffed, and maybe that's how I ended up getting hit. But here I'm not hitting into her block, so I get cornered. She throws off her special one in the corner while we get locked on, which was pretty clutch, and then we finish off with SP1. So not the cleanest fight, not the ugliest fight, but not the greatest fight. So take that what you will. I think I did whiff, like I said, which caused me to eat that SP1 or something of that along the lines, but it was a little too fast, so I couldn't see it this time. Last fight for me is this rank 3 bullseye with Gore. I'm supposed to end in a light in order to get my debuffs up. Every time he's going to hit me, primarily I'm going to be gaining a regen. I did max out willpower here to help with the regen and stuff like that. And if I got any, like if I got parried or anything like that, which I don't. But yeah, see how I have 11 regens now from him just throwing off the SP1, and we pretty much heal back to full, and we're going to block all of it. And there we go. That's how you do that. So he's really good for this fight. And then once I build up my debuffs enough, I'm just going to start hitting into his block, which will get rid of the his protecting immunity to stun reflection or whatever. We go for the SP3, even though I was told to do SP2s because it would be faster, but somehow we got over to SP3. And now we have to deal with his SP2. I know to Dex the last part, he's hitting very hard, which is expected. As a rank 3 with block pin, that's going to hit hard. But here we get off our special 2. We're winning because, quite frankly, we keep healing the whole time. So it's more like a cheese fight, if anything. You can't die, clearly, but it would take a lot of mess ups for you to die. So we absolutely don't die. We get the solo with Gore punching up, and that was my war. That was my war. Rusty, but hey, we got it. And fortunately for us, guys, we won our first war. We had a lot of people dying. We died 13 times, but they died 19 times. Generally, when a new tactic starts, that's when you're probably going to see your influx of deaths. And then over the next few wars, people generally figure out proper counters. So I will say this is just part of the process. I'm glad we did get the dub. But yeah, guys, do me a favor, like and subscribe. Help us grow, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.